Thomas Jefferson once said that no free man shall ever be debarred the use of firearms. This statement may be true or false in the coming years. There are roughly 300 million people confirmed to have firearms in the United States. This was determined by a survey in 2010. A study in the year of 2000 showed that firearms are used nearly 1 million times a year to fend off criminal activity by the gun owners. Gun control is a rising conflict in the United States, and there's two sides to this conflict. The first side is those who think that the Second Amendment ensures us our right to own firearms. They also include that this means that we can have whatever gun we want, however much ammunition we want, and how fast the gun can fire, etc. The other side, however, in lieu of recent shootings that have unfortunately happened, they think that taking away some of our rights would be better off for everybody. So they would like to limit magazine size, what kind of gun you have, and who can own a gun. Also, stricter licensing procedures. The first point tends to be conservative as well as Republican. And the second point tends to be liberal as well as Democratic. I found this information at www.ontheissues.org. Go there to find the Republican and Democratic sides of the view on a lot of things. Why do we own guns? I found three main reasons Americans typically own guns. The first reason would be for hunting. I love hunting. And I know a lot of you also hunt. That's kind of just been a thing for a while. You can't tell people that you can't go get food for your family. I mean, that'd be a bit ridiculous. So hunting's staying. It's not going away. The second is target shooting. Target shooting to some people is much like a sport as basketball might be for you. If you were to say, okay, now there's strict gun laws and you can't have certain kinds of guns, it would kind of be like, okay, well, you can only play with this basketball and only on that goal. And the top reason would be for self-defense. About 69% of the American people who own firearms have determined that this is the reason they have a gun in their house, is for self-defense purposes and to, deter crime from happening in their area. In 1982, a survey over 11 prisons of male felons found that 34% had been scared off, shot at, wounded, or captured by an armed citizen. 40% had said that they didn't attempt a crime because they were scared that the victim might have a gun on them. You're not going to walk through a door if you think that somebody's sitting behind it with a 12-gauge shotgun. And 69% personally knew other people who had been shot at, wounded, captured by an armed citizen. This shows us that guns can be used to be involved in crimes, obviously. But they can also be used to deter crimes from even happening, such as the 40% here. I found this information at www.justfacts.com/gun control. Go there for a lot more information that I wish I could have put into this. Gun control laws have been attempted before. Been attempted in England, and what it did was it took their homicide rate with guns and doubled it. It took their armed robbery rate with guns, threw it up 200%, and now they're 5 times faster growing with that rate than the United States is. Is this because criminals aren't afraid to use their guns against people who don't have guns? If you take away the guns from law-abiding citizens, the criminals are going to break the laws anyway. They're going to be the only ones with the guns, and the police. But the police tend to get there too late. I found this information at people.duke.edu. It debunks a lot of the myths about gun control and how gun control laws would actually benefit us, which it explains it does not. And finally, guns have been a part of America from the very beginning, from its foundation. The founding fathers used the guns, one, for hunting. Back in that time, you had to go hunt and get your own meat. You couldn't go down to a market basket and pick up a steak. You had to go out, shoot a deer, maybe a cow, get the meat yourself. And secondly, one of the most important reasons is they fought a revolution that ends up with leaving us all in this room today. We're all Americans in this room because they fought the revolution with guns against a tyrannic government which they disagreed with. So they knew we have to put a Second Amendment that guarantees the right to bear arms in the Constitution. So later on down the road, if America turns on our people, the people can fight back just as we have. A thing to keep in mind. When you go to the polls, next time you go to vote for a president, a governor, or a representative, keep in mind who's going to ensure the values that you want in our country, who's going to ensure the rights, your rights, such as gun control. Guns have always been a part of America. They'll always be a part of America, maybe. You have to ensure that right. The government will take away your rights if you do not fight for it. If you don't fight for your rights, who will?